morning, everybody. This is Live Vault Fit. Welcome to your Saturday Yoga Flow class. My name is Amy L. For anybody that's new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back. Where you have a moment to give yourself a moment, we'll get comfortable in a seated position. Maybe gather any props you like to have nearby, whether they're blocks, books, a blanket, pillow. There is no wrong option. So I tend to like to sit on a block to lift my hips a little bit. It allows for a little bit more length in the spine, a little less rounding in the spine. So maybe join me here or find another alternative that works for you. If this is your first class with us or me, know that everything here is an option. You're welcome to modify, take things down a notch if you need to, maybe take things up a notch if you want to. Otherwise, come to your comfortable seat, find some stillness. Maybe gently rest palms down on the lap or maybe palms face up. Whatever feels more authentic to you today. So in this space, we'll find some stillness, allow ourselves to connect with our breath, and place our to-do list or anything weighing on our minds to the side. And if we still need them after these 45 minutes, know that they'll be there for us when we're ready to return. So as you begin to take your next inhale softly through the nose, allow yourself to notice the breath and where it flows down into the body. Does it maybe settle in the chest, more towards the low belly, or anywhere in between? You might consider, as you continue to find your breath here, to draw each inhale down into the lower abdomen, allowing that space of the body to grow as big as it can with each breath in. And when we breathe out, allowing it to soften back down and return to that starting space. If you might have any troubles with the inhales, allow yourself to fully release all the air in your lungs on the exhale. That usually helps to make the inhales feel a little more natural and a little less forced. So continue building that relationship with your breath in this space. And if it feels right for you in your practice this morning, maybe choose to set an intention. It might be, I am present. It might be a single word like hope or joy. It might be something as simple as, I'm going to get through this practice. There is no right or wrong, so let yourself be wherever you are with it. And when you feel ready to bring a little movement into the body, we'll flip the palms up and inhale them all the way up to the sky. Exhale turns the palms down and presses the air away from us. Moving with the breath, let every inhale draw you up. Every exhale, release you down. 2 more times here. Notice if the shoulders want to rise to the ears and maybe see if you can gently encourage them down the body. 1 more full breath in. 1 more releasing breath out. And as you take 1 more inhale, lift the arms all the way up, but keep them there this time. Fingertips reach to the sky. Palms reach towards one another as you lift the belly button up into the back of your body. Can you maybe increase the distance between the top of your hips and the bottom of your ribs here without allowing the ribs and chest to splay out in front of you? You might stay here or choose to begin to interlace fingertips together and inhale, press palms to the sky, big reach. As you exhale, begin to round the spine, the chin to your chest as you extend the palms forward. Coming into a seated cat and cow variation, same thing, inhales lift you up. Exhales will round you forward. Allow the breath to guide you. You can move as quickly or as slowly as you'd like as we begin to warm up and open every direction of our spine. So wherever you are, be there fully for 1 more breath in. Release for 1 more breath out. The next inhale takes you back up through center, unlaces the fingertips. And when you're ready, release right palm down, reach left arm over. Ground the right hand into your mat, maybe soften your right elbow as you send your left fingertips up and across the body. As you breathe, notice the beautiful stretch happening in your left side. And it's your choice to breathe here in stillness or add a little movement to your breath. Inhales, reach your fingertips maybe a little bit further, maybe just energetically. And the exhale begins to bend at your elbow, cactus the arm, and maybe lift your heart a little closer to the sky. So 3 rounds of breath here. How would you like to take them? This is your practice. Everything we do here is your choice. So what is the best way you can show up for yourself? And one more time to reach. Your next inhale takes you up through center, and your exhale will release you to the other side. Find that grounding in the palm and the fingertips, reaching long through your upper arm. Option to soften the elbow down, maybe find a little buoyancy with your left arm. And then once again, take that final option maybe to bend the elbow and lift your chest. Exhale, rounds you forward. Inhale, lifts your heart. One more time here. Exhale to complete the breath. And inhale once again to come all the way up. Lift the arms, feel the energy rising in the body, the heat building in the body. And exhale brings 2 palms together, softens the thumbs down to the center of your heart. As you maybe pause for a moment, thank yourself for making this time to come to your mat. Together we'll inhale through the nose. And maybe when you're ready, exhale out through the mouth. Find a little noise as you do so. One more time, big breath in through the nose. Find that big release on your exhale out. Beautiful. When you're ready, we'll transition to all fours and find our tabletop position, placing any props to the side for future use if you might like to use them. As you arrive here, find hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, pressing the palms, fingertips into the mat. As you draw belly button into your spine and lengthen your tailbone down to the heels. You might find the tops of the feet on the mat or choose to tuck the toes as we begin to melt into our traditional cat and cow, inhaling to drop your belly, let the heart lift through your shoulders, the tailbone lift to the sky. As you exhale, begin to round at the tailbone, working your way all the way through the back of your body until you gently tuck the chin into the chest and allow yourself to flow through these 2 poses. Inhales lift you up. Exhales round you down. This is our time to really tend to our spine and set it up to prepare us for the rest of our practice. So if there's any other movements your body might be asking you to take, whether it's shifting side to side, maybe making small circles over the wrists with the shoulders or over the knees with the hips. Maybe it's melting into child's pose and finding a little rest before we begin flowing together. Ask your body what it needs from you in this moment, in these next 40 minutes or so. And learn to listen to how your body responds. How can you tend to it here? Allow yourself to explore for 3 more rounds of breath. Finding one more inhale in your own time, in your own breath pattern. And when you're ready, an exhale begins to bring you back to that stillness. Allow your weight to ground evenly between 2 hands here as you begin to shift the weight of the legs into your left shin. We'll extend our right leg out to the back for a moment. Option to inhale the heel to the sky. Exhale rounds the body as you draw knee to nose. 2 more times. Inhale, we extend the leg back. Find that length in the spine. And exhale to round and breathe out. 1 more time here. As you finish that round of breath, come back to center. And this time, begin to extend the right leg out to the right side of your body. Prepping to find our gate pose. I'll turn so you can see me better. You might think about keeping right heel in line with left knee as you begin to maybe walk your hands to the outside edge of the left side leg. You might take a block or a prop to help ground the left hand down and inhale your right arm up to the sky, grounding the whole right foot to the bottom of your mat. Let the heart lift through the shoulders. Notice if the left shoulder wants to turn in, and maybe see if you can externally rotate it out to find that support here. So pause for one more breath in, one more breath out, and using the strength of the core, we'll guide ourselves to inhale all the way up through center. Our exhale takes us to release the right arm down the right leg and begin to reach towards the right side of the room once again. An inhale will lift you through center, and an exhale will take us back to that modified side plank we found first. So flowing between these two poses, allowing each inhale to guide you up through center, each exhale to release you down one side. Again, your choice to choose how quickly you would like to move through your breath and through the poses. But maybe challenge yourself to see if you can make the whole movement last the entire breath. Inhale back up to center. We'll go one more way each side. Notice anything that's coming up for you in the mind or in the body. And pause through center for one breath in. Really feel the strength of your thighs, the core supporting you here. And as you're ready to release, we'll slowly exhale, cartwheel the arms down the same way they came in. Walk our fingertips back through center, find that tabletop, and guide the right knee in to meet the left. So take any movements here, once again, that your body might be asking you for. Option to take a child's pose, resetting the body before we take this to the other side. When you're ready to rise, do so on an inhale. Find the grounding in your tabletop as you exhale. Begin to shift the weight into your right shin as you extend the left leg out. Inhale, rises heel in line with hip. And as you exhale, we bend the knee round the spine. 2 more times here. When you reach the leg back, really flex the foot behind you, engage the glute. Last inhale brings the leg back to that extension. Exhale releases it down, softens left knee in line with the right. In your own time, begin to extend your left leg out, and we'll prepare to take everything we just did to the other side. So find your bearings, ground your left foot. Maybe walk your hands to the right side of your right leg, melting right palm down as you lift left arm up, finding one breath in and one breath out. On your next breath in, rise through center. Exhale releases you down to the side. Find your gate pose flow here. Maybe you're choosing just to move through one side or one option. There is no right or wrong, so find what fits you best today. As we take a few more breaths and finish out this series on this side of our body. One more inhale through center, one more option on each side, exhaling through that side plank. Inhaling through center one last time to take it over to our left side. On your next breath in, pause for a moment in center, really find that core activation, the support of the lower body for one inhale. And as you exhale, gently release the fingertips down. Walk them back to center as you come back to your tabletop pose one more time. This is your final option to take any movements that support your spine to set you up for the rest of your practice. So find what those are, or choose to tuck your toes and begin to lift your hips, rising to your first downward dog. Strong arms press the floor away as you melt the 4 corners of the palm, the knuckles, the fingertips into the mat. You might choose to walk your dog out, bending one knee, straightening the other as you warm up the backs of the legs. Find a gentle lift, a gentle activation of the core here. Lower belly lifts up and in, low ribs draw into your midline. And we're lifting the hips and the tailbone up, out, and away from the spine. Finally, you might consider your inner thighs as you imagine spinning them to the back of the room to help guide the heels towards the floor. So settle into the space, be where you are, soften the knees if you need to here. Wherever you are, we'll be here fully for one more breath in. Sigh it out the mouth, release as you breathe out. On your next inhale, maybe lift the heels away from the mat as you take your gaze forward. Soften the knees slightly, and we'll take as many steps as we need to take to travel up to the mat, finding our first forward fold. Stand with feet about hips width apart as you hinge from the hips and gently fold over the thighs. Once again, your choice to keep the knees as bent as you'd like, or maybe ground the bottoms of the feet, the heels into the mat, and spin the inner thighs behind you as you encourage the knees towards straight. And come back to your breath anytime that it comes away from you. Maybe choose to find a little rocking side to side. And if your fingertips don't reach the floor, that is absolutely okay. You might allow the elbows and wrists to clasp together. You might use the blocks to bring the floor a little bit closer to you, or use a chair or wall at home for any additional support. Modifying our poses does not make us or our practice less than. It just means that we're tending to our bodies and giving ourselves the grace we need to move through this practice or move through our day with ease. So give yourself permission to find your freedom as you flow. Fill the body with joy, with hope, as you release any stress or tension from your mind and your physical body. Wherever you are, find one more breath in. If you're floating side to side, use an exhale to gather into stillness. Releasing fingertips or palms towards the floor. An inhale brings us to our first halfway lift. Find that long length in the spine, tailbone to the crown of your head. Fingertips might reach to thighs or shins, or maybe they stay on the mat. Wherever you are, soften the knees as you exhale the body all the way down. Imagine roots sprouting from the bottoms of your feet as you ground and slowly begin to inhale, rise all the way up. Release the shoulders back, flip the palms forward, and find some strength in your stillness here. Melting the bottoms of the feet into the mat, the tops of your thighs begin to lift slightly. We'll lengthen our tailbone down energetically to the floor and maybe begin to feel the hip points reach up to the ribs. As the hip points reach up to the ribs, begin to feel your core activating a little bit more deeply. Arms are still reaching strong, energy shooting out of the palms and the fingertips, and maybe finding a little bit more opening, a broadening of the chest, so that we can lift our heart a little bit higher to the sky. Notice if the chin wants to tuck into the chest here, can you find a little extension of the chin forward, a little proudness in your stance of standing? Finally, imagine all this energy reaching up and out of the crown of your head. Feel your power with a breath in. Let it soften through your whole body on an exhale. Together, we'll find one more breath in stillness. Use the exhale to soften knees and elbows so we can inhale the arms all the way up and overhead. Exhale sends us right back down to that forward fold. And an inhale brings us to that halfway lift. Exhale, release once again back down to that fold, where we'll plant the palms, begin to root the weight into our left foot so we can step back with our right foot to find a runner's lunge. Feet will be on two parallel lines. Once again, you might choose to use blocks or props to have the floor come a little bit closer to you and meet you where you are. As you exhale, soften your back knee down, and the next inhale begins to guide the arms all the way up for a low crescent lunge. Lift the belly button into the spine as always. Lift the heart to the sky, softening shoulders down the back. Gently extend your right hip point forward. Begin to feel a beautiful opening in your hip flexor here. As you're ready, you might choose to stay and hold this posture, or exhale begins to send the arms down and around, melting your body into a half split. So straightening that front leg as you come up onto your front heel. Really ground through that heel as you flex the toes towards your face and begin to feel the long line of energy behind the left leg opening. 2 more breaths here in stillness. And it's here that you can choose to hold either pose or find that movement with the breath once again. Inhale brings you to that low crescent lunge. Exhale shifts you back to your half split. 2 more times in your own pace, in your own way, whatever way serves you here. Pause for a moment wherever you are when you finish that last breath. Melt into your stillness for one more inhale. One more exhale. Gently we'll ground our front foot, frame the foot with our hands, step back to your plank pose, and hold for a moment. Press strong into 2 hands. Lengthen your tailbone down to the heels. Find a similar setup that we did in our mountain pose. Encouraging hip bones to the ribs. Let that activate your core for one more breath in. Modify anywhere you need to. And when you're ready, we'll soften the knees down, bending through the elbows, and guiding the whole front body down to the mat. Inhale, presses thighs and feet into the ground as you lift the heart to cobra pose. Exhale, melt your heart down. Tuck your toes, press into the hands as you lift through tabletop or high plank, and come up once again to your downward facing dog. Notice how this version of down dog might be a little bit easier or a little bit more open than the first one we took together. Find one breath in and release one breath out. When you're ready, an inhale lifts 2 heels, an exhale softens your knees and takes your gaze forward. Small steps guide us to the top of our mat, melting into forward fold once again. Reset your spine with one halfway lift. And exhale, melt it back down. When you're ready, root your weight into the right foot and gently begin to step back with the left foot. Soften into your runner's lunge on the right side, 2 feet on 2 parallel lines. Maybe find a little shifting forward and back in the left foot. And when you're ready, an exhale begins to lower, left heel down. Inhale, breathes, arms up, presses into your front foot strongly, firming into the outer right hip, and gently extending your left hip forward for that beautiful hip flexor opening. Pause here for a moment, feel into this space, adjust where you need to. Find one more inhale. And as you exhale, begin to melt the arms down and around, coming to frame your foot, and shift it back to your half split. Once again, your left foot, your back toes can be tucked or untucked here, personal preference. Find what works for you, what feels best in your body. Ground to the front heel as you flex right toes behind you, opening that long line of energy from heel to your sit bones. Wherever you are with the breath, be there for one more round. Releasing your exhale and journeying back to your low crescent lunge on your inhale. Once again, exhale might begin to take you back to that half split as we flow between 2 poses. Find a little freedom, allow yourself to stay anywhere that feels right in the body, even though that there is no right or wrong, just what feels best for you today. So what feels like yes in your body? can you find it in this practice as we take one more variation in each pose? On your next inhale, ground the right foot. Tuck your back toes and lift your back knee. Plant the palms as you step back into plank, whether you're on all fours. Maybe you're lowering knees to the ground or coming down to the forearms. Find strength for one more inhale. Press the floor away for your exhale. On your next breath in, maybe shift the weight forward into the fingertips and palms. Option to lower the knees like we did or find your full chaturanga. Letting the shoulder blades roll down the back body as you keep elbows tight to the side. Inhale, lift your heart, or maybe anchor it down into the palms and lift your hips and thighs off the floor for upward dog. As you exhale, press it all the way back. Find your downward dog once more. 3 rounds of breath here. As you're ready to take on our next flow together, choose to keep feet where they are or maybe walk 2 big toes together as you keep a small space between the heels. Our right foot will ground into the mat. We'll inhale our left heel up to the sky. Hips are square to begin as you begin to breathe into the sensation in the back of the right leg. Let the inhale bring awareness to any tightness or tension, and let the exhale wash it away. One more breath in. This time, as you breathe out, guide heel to glute, maybe shift knee to nose and stack shoulders over wrists. Left foot will step to the left wrist, and we'll gently turn right toes out about 45 degrees. Inhale, sweeps arms all the way up to your warrior one. Adjust your feet as you need to. Lift the arms high as you draw the ribs and the belly into the back of your body. Slight lengthening of the tailbone down. As you maybe choose to stay here, you always have a choice where you want to be. So let the inhale lift your energy up, and then maybe sweep the arms back and take the torso forward, exhaling down to humble warrior. Firm through the outer left hip and thigh for support. An inhale will bring you up. And an exhale, extend your heart forward. Strong arms reach behind you with the palms face down. Inhale, we rise once more. Exhale, last time here. This time as you inhale, draw everything up. And as you exhale, we're going to turn our right toes out and melt all the way down to our warrior two. Adjust your feet as you feel like you need to. Maybe allow the front heel of your foot to bisect the arch of your back foot. Arms reach strong in either direction. Palms are traditionally face down, but sometimes it's nice to turn them up. On your next inhale, scoop left arm forward and reach it up and back for your reverse warrior. When you're ready, an exhale takes you forward to that side angle stretch, maybe starting with forearm on front thigh. Find a long line of energy from your left pinky finger all the way down to your right pinky toe. So once again, let the breath fill the right side of your body, gathering up anything that does not serve you, and exhaling to release it to make room for what does. When you're ready to breathe in once again, ground through the feet and lift once again back up to that reverse warrior. Exhale, gently melt you through and forward, maybe choosing to extend fingertips all the way down to the floor. Maybe it's available to us in our bodies today, maybe it's not. It does not lessen our practice or our presence in our practice. So be where you are physically, mentally, emotionally. Give yourself the grace to land wherever you need to land. Finish whatever round of breath you're on, and together we'll inhale up one more time. Straightening the front knee, coming into your reverse triangle. One more exhale as we melt into full triangle, reaching fingertips towards or past the toes, extending them down towards the shin or the block or maybe the floor. Wherever you are, don't miss out on finding that length in the spine, that extension through the waistline. the opening of the heart. One more breath in, one more breath out. We'll inhale it up one more time to reverse triangle so that we can soften through the front knee. Exhale, cartwheel the arms all the way down. Step back to your plank pose, choose to flow, or come to your downward dog or other resting posture. You might take a moment to notice the difference between the left and right sides of your body. And when you're ready, choose to keep 2 feet where they are or walk 2 big toes together. Ground through your left heel and inhale the right heel up to the sky. Keep hips square, pinky toe faces down as you find the breath, the sensation in your left leg. One more breath in. And as you breathe out, heel to glute, guide knee to nose as you stack shoulders over wrists. To start, step your right foot to your right wrist. Find that 45-degree angle in your back foot, and we'll gently inhale the arms all the way up. Press firmly into the bottom of the front foot. Reach along with the arms with the heart as you lengthen your tailbone down. Pause for a moment and maybe stay here as you find a breath in, or choose to move through humble warrior as you breathe out. Reaching fingertips behind you, lengthening your heart forward. Inhales lift you up as always, and exhales gently send you forward. 2 more times here. Checking in with the core, how is it supporting your body and these poses that we're exploring. Last time to breathe it up to your warrior 1, and we'll use our exhale to melt it open to warrior 2. You can widen the stance of your feet if you need to, or adjust in any way that the body is asking to be adjusted. So maybe find palms face down, or again, flip them over, opening them up to the sky, reaching your fingertips long in either direction. You can just scoop your right arm forward, up and back on your next inhale. And as you exhale, gently melt it down. Keep that long line of energy in the arms and the body as you melt to your first side angle stretch. So ground it through the left foot, the side of the left foot. Find that energy reaching from your left ankle all the way out through the left fingertips. Check in if you're dumping the weight into your right side, and maybe see if you can lift and lengthen through the spine and the waistline once again. Finish whatever round of breath you're on, and we'll invite the next inhale to lift us up to that reverse warrior once again. Exhale gently lengthens us forward, maybe reaching for the floor or just past the thigh this time. Your practice will not look like mine or the person's next to you or anybody else that's with you virtually. So avoid the comparison. Work for sensation, not for the shape. Let your next breath in guide you up, but this time straighten your front leg for reverse triangle. Inhale begins to guide the fingertips to reach towards our right foot, and eventually release the fingertips down to wherever they land. Maybe the shin, maybe the floor, maybe a prop. Let your grounding in the bottoms of each foot be strong. For one more inhale, one more exhale. Your next inhale brings you up to reverse triangle just one more time. The exhale will soften the right knee as you cartwheel the arms down and maybe choose to find one more flow. How would you like to move here? Give yourself that permission to explore and find the freedom that you so deserve. So maybe walk your dog out. Maybe ground one foot as you lift and open the other. Maybe opening the hips this time as you bend one knee and stack one hip on top of the other, opening the inner thighs, giving yourself that chance for exploration, to explore the freedom that's waiting for you to find it in your body. So use one or two more breaths here to guide that exploration. And when you're ready to begin grounding, we'll inhale to lift our heels, exhale to release our knees, our shins to the mat. Let the hips melt back towards the heels as you find your child's pose. Your knees might be together, they might be matched width apart. You might even bring a blanket or a pillow between your thighs and your belly for a little extra support. So as you begin to slow down the breath, slow down the heart rate, you might invite the forefront of your mind to reflect back on your intention. Let it flow through the mind, through the body with the breath. Allowing for one more inhale, one more exhale. When you're ready to rise, do so with a breath in. And we'll slowly begin to come back to a comfortable seat just for a moment. Melting into your cobbler's pose, you might invite two bottoms of the feet together. And if the knees are tight, maybe the hips are tight, sometimes it's nice to support them with some blocks on either side. So find a moment here, grounding through your sit bones, maybe massaging the arches of your feet if that might feel nice. Soften the eyes closed, the shoulders down, and invite that energetic lift of your heart up and open once again. Stay here if this is where you would like to be. Or on your next exhale, begin to hinge at your hips, find a seated forward fold, keeping two sit bones on the ground. You might encourage the spine to lengthen straight as you lift the heart. And then eventually maybe step your fingertips past the feet as you soften the spine over the body. And breathe in your stillness, in gratitude and hope. As you find two more rounds of breath here. When you feel ready to rise, allow an inhale to guide you there. As we set any props to the side and begin to recline all the way down onto our spines. So taking your time, moving in any mindful way that serves you in this moment as you are. Let the body adjust to being on the floor. And maybe begin to invite two knees into your chest. Hands can be placed gently on the shins or maybe wrap them all the way around, giving yourself a little hug. Maybe rocking the hips side to side as you massage your lower back into your mat. As you find your breath in this new position, let the belly grow big into the thighs and let the lower back grow big into the mat. As you exhale, slowly release, let it go. Feel the softening from the resistance of breathing into your body and into the ground. Maybe choose to stay here or keep the right leg where it is as you release left leg long. You might shift your right thigh, right hip side to side. Maybe forward and back if that might serve your body option to come into your spinal twist as you extend right arm long on an inhale and guide right knee over to the left side of your mat on an exhale. Keeping both shoulders grounded, taking your gaze to your right hand, allowing the breath to be deep into your mid waistline. And taking one more breath in, releasing your breath out, and slowly guiding your hips back to center as you do so. Invite your left knee in to meet the right. Once again, you might pause and notice the difference between the right and left side of your body. Maybe invite that gentle rock side to side once again. And in your own time, extending right leg long. Inviting a little mobility on the left side if that's what your body needs from you right here. And as you're ready to maybe find that twist on this side, an inhale releases your left arm out. And an exhale invites left knee across your right side body. Gaze towards your left palm as you breathe into your waistline. And exhale, let it go. Final breath in. And as you find that final breath out, melt the hips back to center and plant 2 feet on the floor. You might allow the knees to drop to your left side, moving through center, dropping to the right side, or choose to find any final movements that your body might be asking you for. How would you like to end your practice before finding your final Shavasana? When you are ready to melt into your final Shavasana, invite some stillness as you extend the legs out long, arms out to the side, maybe softening the shoulder blades underneath the heart space for support. Invite one more inhale to collect any remaining tightness, tension, stressful energy in the body. And as you exhale, release it from your whole being and soften into the benefits of your practice as they sink into your body. And as you rest here in your stillness and your silence, I will leave you with these words. I hope you find freedom, the kind of freedom where the gravity of your worries dissolve and a river of joy runs through your veins. I hope you find purpose, the kind of purpose that doesn't need to be chased, but discovered within your very breath. I hope you find trust, the kind of trust that embraces every moment and can find the twinkling star amongst a blanket of darkness. But most of all, I hope you find love, the kind of love that awakens the soul and reminds you of your true nature. So if you're at home and would like to continue melting into your Shavasana, I invite you to do so. And if you might be ready to reawaken with me, I invite you to bring some movement into your body, slowly at first, wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe rolling out the ankles or wrists, inviting any movement that supports you as you roll onto your favorite side. allowing the body to be heavy, the ground to be supportive just for a moment, and eventually pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seat with your intention in mind. When you're ready to close our practice together, we'll inhale, reach for our intention. Exhale, draw it into our hearts. Final inhale brings thumbs to third eye as we honor the wisdom, the hope, the wonder in each and every one of us, including ourselves, before exhaling to bow forward with namaste. I thank you all for sharing your morning practice with me. If you haven't already and have the means to do so, please donate to the Domestic Violence Center of Chester County. The instructions you can find online through our social media. Otherwise, thank you once again for practicing with me with Vibe Fall Fit. We hopefully will see you again soon. Happy holidays.